You are not too late. Nor have you remained at the starting line, as you have often believed. The years you considered wasted, the doors that once remained firmly closed, and the moments when you nearly abandoned your deepest faith in yourself were all final stretches of a long journey through which you have persevered. I want you to understand this from the very beginning. You are not standing at the beginning of transformation. You are very close to the completion of a process that has been unfolding quietly for a long time. Some people turn back, not because they have failed to travel far enough, but because they become exhausted when they are only one step away from reaching the threshold. No one tells them that most of the journey is already behind them. So they mistake the weariness of the final stretch for a sign that they should give up. You have experienced this as well. You looked upon long days that produced no visible results and assumed that you had made little progress, while in truth, your perseverance had already carried you through distances that many people never possessed the courage to enter. What you called failure has actually contributed to the stability you now possess. Every rejection taught you to recognize where you did not belong. Every closed door forced you to loosen your dependence upon external things. Every season that seemed empty quietly formed an endurance within you that could never have been learned during favorable times. I know that you have often wondered why everything remained fragmented despite your efforts, and why carefully prepared plans still refused to connect into a clear path. You questioned your ability and thought that perhaps you lacked discipline, strength, or some quality that others seemed naturally to possess. But I tell you that these interruptions were not evidence of inadequacy. They revealed that there was a deeper layer that needed to be recognized. An inner part of you that had never been taught how to move in harmony with what your mind had already understood. You have experienced many moments of sudden illumination. There were days when you awakened with powerful clarity and felt that you finally knew what needed to be done. You wrote down plans, reorganized everything, and promised yourself that this time would be different. For several hours or several days, you felt filled with energy, as though a great door had opened before you. Then the old rhythm of life returned. Weariness settled over you. Familiar habits pulled you back, and the fire within gradually weakened. Each time this happened, you concluded that you were not persistent enough. You condemned yourself for failing to maintain your determination and even felt ashamed that you had to begin again. I want you to stop that judgment today. What happened was not simply a lack of effort. Your new awareness had come into contact with an old system built over many years. And that system continually sought to return you to what was familiar because it interpreted familiarity as safety, even when that familiarity caused you pain. Therefore, the issue was never merely whether you wanted to change. You have wanted it deeply, prayed for it for a long time, and made more effort than others could see. What held you back was often found in automatic responses that no one ever taught you to recognize. When an opportunity appeared, one part of you wanted to move forward, while another part remembered former wounds and immediately pulled you backward. When you prepared to express your true voice, memories of criticism silenced you. When you were about to enter something good, the fear of loss caused you to distrust the very door for which you had once prayed. These opposing movements drained your strength until you mistakenly believed you were not strong enough. But, beloved child, you are not broken. You are carrying mechanisms that once helped you survive difficult seasons, even though they are no longer suitable for the new road before you. I do not want you to fight against yourself with harshness. You cannot heal a frightened part of yourself by shouting at it. Neither can you build a peaceful life by continually forcing yourself forward while living in panic. What you need now is not another grand promise, but one small and honest action that you can perform even after the emotional intensity has faded. Choose one thing that is simple and clear, something that can be completed within a short period each day. Do not attempt to repair your entire life in one night. Do not create such an overwhelming plan that your mind immediately feels threatened by it. Place one brick today, and another tomorrow. Lasting transformation does not always arrive with thunder. Often, it comes through small steps, repeated in calmness. If you want to write, begin with one short paragraph. If you want to care for yourself more faithfully, begin with one nourishing meal or an hour of rest without guilt. If you want to change your work, begin by updating one part of your resume, researching one opportunity, or contacting one trustworthy person. If you want to restore a relationship, begin with one clear boundary, instead of trying to resolve every wound in a single conversation. I am not asking you to run. I only want you to take a genuine step. One honest step is worth more than hundreds of promises spoken while emotions are high. When you repeat that small action, you send a new message throughout your entire life. Change is no longer a threat, but a road that can be walked safely. I also want you to stop viewing every period of slowing down as a return to zero. You have never returned to the starting point, because every experience has left understanding within you. Even in the times when you stopped, you still learned what exhausted you, what caused you to give up, and what truly suited the rhythm of your life. A wise person does not measure a journey only by the number of days spent moving in a straight line. They also consider the wisdom gained through every detour. You now know more than you once did. Recognize your own patterns more quickly, and are no longer as easily led by empty promises. That is progress, even when it does not always take the form you expected. Perhaps tonight you still cannot see every piece falling into place, but you can take hold of one practical truth. Choose one small action, perform it consistently, and observe what within you attempts to resist that step. Do not condemn the resistance. Ask what it fears, which memory it is trying to protect you from, and whether that danger is still present in your life today. When you call fear by its true name, it loses some of its power to control you. When you understand your inner mechanisms, you stop treating them as destiny. And when you cease fighting against yourself, the energy that was once divided will begin to return. I am reminding you that you have already come very far. You survived seasons that made you believe you would lose hope completely. You continued to love despite being wounded, continued to seek despite repeated disappointment, and continued to believe that your life possessed meaning even though many people had caused you to question it. These are not the signs of someone still standing at the beginning. They are the signs of someone approaching the maturity toward which this entire journey has always been leading. Therefore, do not turn back merely because you are tired. Rest when necessary. Adjust your pace and release what is no longer appropriate. But do not deny the distance you have traveled. Beloved child, the door before you does not require you to become someone else. It only asks you to approach it with truth, patience, and faith refined by everything you have endured. You do not need to prove your worth through exhausting effort. You only need to stop abandoning yourself whenever change fails to happen as quickly as you hoped. Continue with one small but steady step. Remember that you are not beginning again, you are completing what has already begun. What you believe to be the final limit of your endurance may be the very place where true strength is born. And when you cross that threshold, you will look back and understand that no day was completely wasted. No lesson was meaningless, and no act of rising again was ever forgotten. I remain beside you, gently guiding your steps, until you realize that you are far closer to the destination than you ever believed. In the minutes ahead, I want to lead you through the signs that quietly reveal that an old foundation within your life has begun to move. You must remain long enough to understand what is being removed, what is being prepared, and why this season of transformation has come to you at this particular time. If you listen patiently until the end, you will recognize three kinds of support that the Father often shakes when he desires to lead someone beyond former limitations. You will also learn how to discern which foundation is being touched within your personal circumstances. I will place in your hands a 7-day journey of observation so that you no longer have to guess in confusion, but can clearly see the relationships, habits, and structures that are gradually departing from your life. In the end, you will understand that this transformation is not happening to make you lose your direction, but to lead you into a level of maturity that you were once not quiet enough to receive. Therefore, do not leave these words when they have only touched the surface, because certain truths open themselves only to those willing to remain after impatience has become still. One of the clearest signs is the sense of unfamiliarity that begins appearing in places that once made you feel safe. It may be a familiar room, a group of people who have walked with you for many years, or conversations that once brought you comfort. Yet recently, you have entered those spaces and felt a difference that was difficult to name. You still smiled, listened, and tried to move according to the former rhythm. But something within you no longer responded as it once did. After a short time, you wanted to leave. Not because you hated anyone or because your heart had grown cold, but because your capacity was being adjusted. You no longer possess enough energy to continue maintaining a version of yourself that has become too narrow for what is growing within you. Places that once felt like home may now resemble rooms that can no longer provide the warmth you need. Do not rush to condemn yourself as distant or ungrateful. What you feel may be an honest signal, revealing that you have changed more deeply than your mind has yet recognized. This transformation also becomes visible through the way you perceive habits that once supported you. There are things you have done for many years because they once brought happiness, stability, or a familiar rhythm. Yet now, you continue them more from habit than enthusiasm. Activities you once anticipated begin to feel like obligations that must be completed. Interests that once caused time to pass quickly no longer awaken a sense of vitality within you. At that moment, you may fear that you are losing your ability to enjoy life or assume that something within you is malfunctioning. I want you to remain peaceful before such thoughts pull you downward. Not every decrease in interest is evidence of decline. Sometimes the old anchor is being lifted because the vessel is being called toward another shore. What served you in the previous season may no longer possess enough strength to nourish you in the season ahead. It was not wrong, and it did not fail. Its purpose has simply been fulfilled. When former structures begin to loosen, you often find yourself standing between two empty spaces. What was familiar no longer attracts you, while what is new has not yet become clear. This is the transition most likely to cause confusion, because you cannot return completely, yet you do not know where to go next. Nevertheless, this in-between space is not meaningless emptiness. It resembles a field resting after a harvest. The surface appears quiet, yet unseen preparation is taking place beneath the soil. The Father does not rush to fill every empty place, because if the new arrives before you have released the old, you will attempt to carry both at once and exhaust yourself. Therefore, certain former joys must gradually lose their attraction. Some attachments must loosen, and outdated rhythms must stop sustaining you. This loosening creates the space necessary for you to recognize a call coming from another direction. You may also repeatedly encounter coincidences that cause you to stop and pay attention. A sequence of numbers may appear again and again at moments connected to important decisions. A song may unexpectedly begin playing just as you remember a certain person. A sentence you read several days earlier may reappear in the words of someone who knows nothing about what you have been considering. These things may repeat with such precision that you find them difficult to dismiss, even though you know others might accuse you of imagining too much. I am not teaching you to chase every sign or transform every coincidence into a prophecy. I am merely reminding you to remain attentive, because sometimes such repetitions resemble small points of light placed along the road, helping you recognize that timing is being arranged. They are not given so that you become dependent upon numbers, sounds, or coincidences, but so that you remember you are not walking through this season of transition alone. A genuine sign always leads you toward clarity, peace, and responsibility. It does not drive you into fear or obsession. In addition to what occurs while you are awake, your sleep may also become unusual. On some nights, images may appear with greater clarity than they have in years: the ground trembling, a house changing shape, a hallway growing longer, or a door disappearing before you can reach it. Some dreams are not violent, yet when you awaken, their atmosphere remains with you for a long time, like a message that has not yet been understood. You wonder why these things are appearing now. During the day, your mind often creates many layers of protection. It reasons, delays, denies, or attempts to keep everything intact so that you will not feel unsettled. But during sleep, those layers of control soften, and the deeper part of you begins processing what you are not yet ready to face while awake. Therefore, dreams may become mirrors reflecting internal movement, revealing which foundation is becoming unstable, which door has closed, or which ground is no longer firm enough for you to continue building upon. Even so, I do not want you to assign absolute meaning to every image too quickly. Observe calmly. After every memorable dream, write down the strongest emotion it produced. Did you feel frightened, relieved, confused, or liberated? Then consider what in your present life corresponds with that emotion. A collapsing building does not necessarily predict disaster. It may symbolize a system of belief that can no longer remain standing. A door you cannot find does not mean you have been rejected. It may reveal that you are attempting to return to a path that is no longer meant for you. What matters most is not decoding every detail, but recognizing the honesty the dream awakens within you. The Father may use the quietest hours to reach places that daytime reasoning cannot touch. But all true guidance must be tested through peace. wisdom, and the good fruit it produces in daily life. During the next 7 days, I want you to spend several minutes each evening witnessing what is departing without attempting to hold it back or rushing to draw conclusions. Write down 3 things. Which place drains you even though it once felt comfortable? Which habit you are maintaining only because you fear change? And which repeated sign seems to be calling for your attention? You do not need to produce profound answers. You only need to be honest. By the end of 7 days, you will begin to see a clearer pattern. Perhaps the foundation being shaken is your sense of belonging, because you once measured your worth through a certain group of people. Perhaps it is the foundation of control, because you feel safe only when everything happens according to plan. Or perhaps it is the foundation of an old identity, because you have become accustomed to living according to what others expected rather than what was placed within you from the beginning. When you recognize which foundation is moving, fear will begin to decrease, because you will understand that the shaking is not intended to bury you, but to expose what is no longer strong enough for the next part of your journey. And this is what I want to preserve until you are quiet enough to hear it. Life is not taking away what truly belongs to you. You are being released from what was once suitable but can no longer accompany you into the new place. Relationships, rhythms, interests, and structures that are gradually losing their power are not evidence that you have failed. They are signs that a part of you has matured beyond its ability to remain asleep in the old room. Be grateful for what once supported you, but do not turn gratitude into a rope that forces you to remain. You are allowed to move forward without hating the past. You are allowed to change without denying the years that came before. I am here to remind you that the loss of attraction can sometimes be the first sound of a lock opening. Discomfort can become a new compass, and the emptiness you fear may be the place where the Father is preparing to lay a stronger foundation. Remain patient, because depth does not open itself to those who leave in haste. It is given to those courageous enough to stand still in the midst of movement and believe that what is leaving is merely making room for something more genuine to enter. You have lived for too long beneath the shadow of a misunderstanding, believing that the cycles which lifted you very high and then cast you into the lowest depths were merely tests, requiring you to endure even more. For many months, perhaps for many years, you awakened with a heavy emptiness in your heart and immediately blamed yourself for not praying enough, sacrificing enough, or being strong enough. You told yourself that if you tried a little harder, endured a little longer, and suffered silently for just a little more time, the barren season would eventually pass and I would finally notice your faithfulness. But I have seen you for a very long time. I saw the nights when you could not sleep. I saw your mind racing in anxiety while everyone else rested. I saw you leave the room with a strained smile, even though there was almost no strength remaining within you. I also saw how you used sacred words to pressure yourself, turning endurance into a whip and faith into a heavy obligation. You called it refinement. But often, what was taking place was not a fire sent to make you brighter. It was a collection of hidden cracks through which your strength escaped day after day. Beloved child, I do not regard your exhaustion as evidence of faithfulness. Neither do I sit far above you, keeping score of how much pain you can tolerate before collapsing. I have not placed a mantle upon your shoulders and demanded that you prove your worth by wearing yourself away. You took hold of that belief and gradually convinced yourself that the more isolated, silent, and unwilling to ask for help, you became, the closer you were to holiness. But holiness does not make you bitter toward those you love. It does not remove your ability to rest. Nor does it require you to hide your tears in the car before entering your home. When a path continually empties you, you must pause and discern rather than keep rushing forward, because you fear that resting means weakness. There are times when courage is not found in trying harder, but in admitting that your vitality is leaking through wounds that have not yet been healed. I honor your perseverance. The fact that you continued searching for light when the heavens seemed closed reveals a very genuine love within you. You kept moving even when you felt no comfort. And you continued turning your heart toward what was good when only weary echoes remained within. I do not despise those years. They revealed your sincerity. But they also revealed how accustomed you had become to carrying too much. You tried to become the person who kept the entire family standing, the one who repaired the wounds of many generations, and the one who always possessed encouraging words for others, even though you had no place of support for yourself. You believed that if you fell, everything would collapse. Therefore, you locked away your pain, continued serving, continued smiling, and continued carrying responsibilities that were never fully assigned to you. I want you to understand that devotion does not require you to become an endless source for everyone around you. There is a profound difference between a season of training and a condition of depletion. Training may make you tired, but it still produces depth, clarity, and healthy strength. Depletion gradually removes your joy, causes you to react with anger, makes concentration difficult, keeps you constantly tense, and leaves you unable to recognize yourself. If every moment of encouragement is quickly followed by another fall into despair, and if every gift of hope remains for only a short time before slipping through your hands, the problem may not be that you have failed to try hard enough. The vessel within you may have carried cracks for too long. Those cracks may have been created by former wounds, violated boundaries, the habit of constantly pleasing others, promises you forced yourself to keep, or fears you never dared to name. When a vessel remains fractured, pouring more into it does not make it full. It only forces you to experience the pain of watching precious things continue to flow away. Therefore, I am not telling you to seek another burst of fire and hope that it will remain this time. I am inviting you to return and repair the vessel that must contain it. Before seeking new heights, allow me to lead you back to the foundation. Look again at the places where you learned to ignore your own needs in order to preserve harmony. The moments when you said, "I am fine," even while you were breaking within. The relationships that continually took from you without ever strengthening you. And the beliefs that taught you that resting was laziness. I want you to understand that caring for yourself is not a departure from the sacred path. Sleeping sufficiently, eating regularly, finding a trustworthy person with whom you can speak, establishing boundaries against what drains you, and seeking support when necessary can all be expressions of faith. You are not betraying your calling when you choose recovery. You are protecting your ability to continue walking for a long time. Stop fighting against the illusion that says, "I must suffer in order to be accepted." You were loved before you proved anything. I do not love you more on the days when you are strong, nor do I withdraw from you when all you can do is remain still in silence. My presence is not a reward reserved for those who endure pain better than everyone else. It is the place to which you may return, even when you can no longer form a complete prayer. On some days, the only words you may be able to speak are, "I am tired." Even those words are enough to open the way for an honest encounter. I do not need you to decorate your pain with beautiful expressions. I desire truth. Because only when you stop covering the cracks can healing reach the places that need to be restored. From now on, learn to recognize what fills you and what causes you to continue leaking strength. One conversation may leave peace within you, while another may require many days of recovery. One responsibility may be aligned with your calling, while another continues only because you fear disappointing others. One habit may nourish clarity, while another keeps you trapped in a cycle of anxiety. I do not want you to become suspicious of everything, but I do want you to remain awake. Observe the results each choice leaves behind. What comes from goodness will not require you to sacrifice all your peace in order to sustain it. Sometimes releasing something is not failure. It is simply closing the tap that has quietly been draining you. You must also stop treating isolation as evidence of strength. Some burdens become lighter only when they are shared in the right place. Allow mature, compassionate, and trustworthy people to enter the space you have kept locked for too long. When anxiety continues, sleep becomes disturbed, or exhaustion begins to affect your daily life deeply, seeking professional support does not make you less faithful. Wisdom may arrive through many doors, and you do not need to reject a healthy door merely because it does not appear in the way you once imagined. I may strengthen you through prayer, but I may also do so through someone who knows how to listen, through timely counsel, through a plan for rest, or through appropriate care. Now, I want you to stop condemning yourself because you could not maintain the former emotional heights. No one can pour an ocean into a cracked vessel without watching the water escape. What you need is not more pressure, but restoration. When the cracks are repaired, you will no longer have to chase brief moments of intensity in order to feel alive. You will learn how to remain within a peace that is deeper, more enduring, and more gentle. You will no longer need to prove yourself through exhaustion, because the restoration of your life will become a clear testimony in itself. Allow me to lead you into a season in which you no longer ask, "How much longer can I endure?" but begin to ask, "What helps me become whole?" You have not failed a test. You are simply being invited to stop. Look at the vessel within, and permit love to repair what solitary endurance could never heal.